All right. We in here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, 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 yes. Let me get this feedback together.
Okay. It's all right. Technical, any man-made stuff is always gonna have some type of, issue at some point.
We
They
are.
could bear with us a couple of more minutes.
Please and thank you. Have a great day. But
Let's extend grace today.
that's the main thing that we are actually on. Did it stop?
Still hear it a little. It goes in and out.
Okay. Well, hopefully it stay out. Let's hope it stay out. No. No. Okay, but welcome to Bible Fellowship. Like I said, the main thing is we are here. We are in
Yeah.
the and tonight we are going to actually talk about potential to find. But before we do that, I'll give y'all this little intro right quick while we get hopefully get this feedback together. I'm scared to say.
Tony, I think we're good.
Did it work? No. I thought we had it together. But however,
We gonna press forward.
I'm gonna press forward because we have potential to do great things tonight.
You know what? It's the potential to do great things, honey. Yes,
All
we
the
got it.
all of that right there. But that's gonna bother me. Let's get it. Because it didn't do it earlier. Are we back?
I think we're good.
All right. Amen. Praise God. Had to say a little quick prayer like God. I mean, he wasn't doing this earlier. It was
Come
not.
on.
God. You know what I'm saying? We got a potential to do great things tonight. That's all I'm saying.
Awesome. Awesome. Yes. Let's
So
tap in.
let's get in. Let's tap in and say, as you have just said. And for those, okay, this is a very new platform for us doing this on YouTube as well. So make sure that you go and like, subscribe, turn on notifications so that you can always be notified anytime that we are going live, anytime that we post something to our YouTube page. So just make sure that you are, hey, got your notifications turned on so that you can be updated. And for those of you that may be joining us on Facebook as well, make sure that you go ahead and share this out. Let other people know that you're locked in, tuned in with us. We are back for Bible Fellowship on Thursdays. I'm so very excited about it because, you know, it feels like it's been a time since we have done this. And I'm so very glad that we are back on, able to fellowship with everybody through, through the word. Let's say it like that.
Exactly. Exactly.
The word. So, as I said before, tonight's topic is potential defined. And so we all know, you know, you always hear that saying, like, you know, hey, well, you know, it's untapped potential. You always
Hmm.
hear things of, okay, well, you know, I see them for their potential, things of that nature. So when you start to hear those things, you kind of wonder, like, okay, well, what is it? Like, what
Right.
is potential? How do you tap into it? And like, you
Right.
know, like, oh, I got with them because you know they have potential. What does that mean? I guess maybe I'm the only one to ask that question because I
You're
always don't.
not.
Okay. Okay. I just wanted to check and make sure. So as we were, looking at this, one thing that I have read quite a few times from Dr. Miles Monroe is about, like, the graveyard is like the richest place on
Right.
earth. There's
Right.
so much potential in the grave. And I'm just like,
Hmm.
I don't want mine to be in a grave.
I need to get it all out before I leave here. So the definition, based on what Miles Monroe has within this week's lesson, potential is dormant ability, reserved power, untapped strength, unused success, hidden talents, capped capability,
Come on.
capped capability.
Come on.
So it's not yet been, you got to take the cap off. There's
Yes.
things that we sit back and we have our dreams that we want to fulfill. We have, goals that we have set. But if we keep the lid on it, if we never uncover it, if we never uncap it, it's just gonna stay in that bottle. It's almost like gives me kind of like a visual in my mind of if you have a soda, us have a soda and the bottle cap is on. You're sitting
Hmm.
there shaking it up.
Yeah.
It's building up all of this pressure,
Yeah.
but it's never released because you don't take the cap off. So
Come
it's just
on.
like it has the potential to do more, to be great,
Hmm.
explode if you really want to think about it, because
Right.
once you shake that soda, because of the carbonation, all of that stuff gets mixed up and it's like it's ready to come out and just explode all
Exactly.
over the place. But when you
Exactly.
keep that cap on, it's like nothing ever happens. And
Yeah.
eventually what happens is it ends up settling back down.
Hmm. Hmm.
There's no abundance, there's no overflow, there's no increase. There's none of that. It ends up settling back down and just sitting. And eventually, if you don't take that cap off, even with the cap on, it becomes flat. It
Yeah.
becomes stale.
Yeah.
It does
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah. Because it's always one of those things. Because you said that, it made me think, like, you get one of them drinks and like you're so excited about it, you're like, ooh, this thing about to be strong, it's about to hit. And then when
Right.
you taste, you be like,
It's sort of
man,
flat.
it's like, how many times have we been flat when we
Ooh,
take the cap off and we're flat? We didn't decide, we didn't say, you know what, hey, well, I'm going to make sure that I go with it right now. We waited and
right,
up flat. It's
right.
don't have that same effect. There's
Hmm.
still there's still something in there, but it's not having the same effect. Like they say, it ain't giving. It ain't
It ain't
fizzy.
hitting. It ain't giving. It ain't hitting the way it don't hit like it's supposed to.
No, it does not. And it's just
Right.
one of those where you just kind of like, when I looked at that definition, like he said, dormant ability,
Hmm.
like that ability that's just there, and we
Hmm.
don't even realize that we have this ability in us, and it's almost like, all right, well, what are we doing?
So um one thing that hit me in the lesson when it had potential is unexposed ability and latent power. I
Mm-hmm.
had to look up the word latent.
Yes. Uh-huh.
So I looked it up and it said existing but not yet developed or manifest,
Mm,
hidden, concealed.
yeah.
I had to jump down because I was like, okay, yeah, it's hidden, it's concealed.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the biology definition of it when it talked about like a seed or a bud.
Yeah.
And what it said is it means lying dormant or hidden until circumstances are suitable for development or manifestation. So
Mm,
sometimes it's like we have the potential in us, but
mm-hmm.
it could be that the environment that we're in is not conducive for it to grow. The
Yeah.
people that we're around are not speaking life into it. It
Yeah.
could be us. That
Yeah.
potential is so great within us, but we're not doing the
Mm-hmm.
work in
Right.
order to manifest it, in order for it to come forth, in order for it to grow.
Right.
So when I sat and read it, I was just like, oh my God. I
Mm,
start questioning myself, like, what is it that I have not tapped into yet?
yeah.
What is it that I'm still kind of just sitting on or oh, they doing it, so I'm gonna take my hands off of it. But their
But
fingerprint is not yours.
hey, and we all have untapped potential. We
Hmm.
all have that dormant ability. We all have what is it that uncapped is we all have that in us even now because your
Hmm.
potential doesn't have a lifespan.
Hmm. Exactly.
It doesn't have a lifespan. So you are always able to do more and be more and reach further and stretch. You always are able to do that.
Miles Monroe said, potential never has a retirement plan.
Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm.
We got to decide that, you know what, I'm not going to rob life, rob the people around me of what's inside. Because it's like people say it, and I think some people don't. Some people say it and don't realize what they're saying, but it's like what's inside of you literally is sometimes for somebody else. It's
Yeah.
like you're robbing the world of your gifts and talents and
Mm-hmm.
capability and expertise because what you're afraid,
Yeah.
you don't have
Yeah.
the resources,
Mm,
you're not connected to the right people.
yeah.
I'm not the right race. I'm not the right gender. I don't go to such and such church. I don't got the right clothes. I don't drive the right car.
Mm,
I don't make enough money. Like, what is the excuse? Because at the end of the day, that's all it is an
right.
excuse.
Yeah. And as forgot who said it, but excuses are confessions of the uncommitted.
Hold
So
on. Hold on. Excuses
are confessions of
are
the
confessions of the uncommitted.
yeah.
Wow.
Because ultimately,
Wow.
if we take and look at all of this stuff that's around us and we say we can't because of that, we're not
Right.
committing to what it is that we really want to do. Because now external circumstances are dictating, okay, if I can or if I can't or if I will or if I won't.
Uh-huh.
That's an excuse. Like, nah, you ain't really committed to it.
Hmm. I think sometimes we find those excuses because we don't really believe in it. We don't
Right.
really believe in the potential that we have on the inside of us. And a lot of times we're just lazy. We don't want to really do the work. We don't want to grow. We
Mm-hmm.
don't want to mature. We don't want to develop. We don't want to invest
Mm-hmm.
in ourselves in order to be better, in
It's
order to reach that full potential.
mm-hmm.
So it's like it's a mindset. You got
Yeah.
to unearth, some of that stuff that maybe we were raised with, maybe because you didn't have an example of it physically in your life to
Mm-hmm.
see it,
Yep.
you know, you use that as an excuse. Well, ain't nobody else around me ever done it. So it must not be meant for me to do it.
That means you need to be doing it. Because the guy gave you the idea. If he, dropped it in your spirit for you to do something, that means you need to be doing
Exactly.
it. Everything
Exactly.
that ever existed ever had to have a trailblazer. They had to have somebody to do it first.
Hmm.
That's
Hmm.
like you've been talking about potential. I forgot what the guy's name was, how long ago it was, but when he broke the record to do the mile in under 4 minutes.
Hmm.
Certain mindset that he had to have to say, you know what, ain't nobody else ever done it, but you know what? I'm gonna try to do it. So you can only imagine the hard work he put in, the dedication, the time, the hours to say, you know what, hey, I want to be committed to saying, hey, I got this in me. If I just stretch a little bit further, if I can just, run a little bit faster, train a little bit more, I may be able to break that barrier. And when he did it, other people were unlocked to be like, okay, if that man can do it,
I can
oh,
do
that too.
it. Right.
So everything has to have a trailblazer. Everybody has to have somebody that's going to do it first.
Because at the end of the day, if you really think about it, most things are a system, a
Yeah.
process. If
Mm-hmm.
you can get the system down in the process, you're good. But like I
Exactly.
said, some people don't want to take the time to figure out the
Mm-hmm.
system to reach that untapped potential that they
Right.
have on the inside of them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, One of the other things that was said in the lesson was that potential demands that you never settle for what you accomplish. One of the greatest enemies of success,
Mm-hmm.
um, I'm sorry. One of the great enemies of your potential is
Mm-hmm.
success. So
Yeah.
it's like people reach a certain plateau and it's like, oh, I'm good. I'm making a certain amount of money. My business is doing this.
Hey.
I've gotten, to this. I done got this particular accolade. All right, I'm good. I can cruise. I can put myself
Right.
on cruise control. But it's just like you only as good as your last, like people, in the industry. You're only as good as your last hit.
Right.
You know, it's more after that, baby.
Right.
It's more
Right.
to it. That's not
Exactly.
the end. That was something you hit, but I guarantee you, in the next 6 months to a year, somebody else gonna be hot. It's gonna be a better song. So what you got next?
Because the main thing that most people that are like, music artists, they don't want to be a one hit wonder. They don't want to be that person that only came out with one song. We're like, well, yeah, it was just that one. We know the
Right?
people. They came out with that one song. That was it. They ain't do nothing else. That they didn't stop singing. They didn't,
No.
like their voices didn't just like automatically their bodies. It was just like,
Hmm.
okay, hey, was there a push? Was there a stretch? Like, were you
Right.
leave companies, get a new team, depart from people in order to like reach that full potential? Some people just like, what, I'm just gonna stop right there and see
That's it.
what the end gonna be.
I was just at one that really hits my mind, and people can talk how they want to talk about her. Auntie Mary J. But
Come on.
listen, when I tell you she done stood the test of time,
Now,
baby,
now.
she gonna get you, from the 4-on-1 record to up to the, dancery to what's the current album she got out.
I don't
I don't even
forgot.
know the name of it.
God. But yeah.
Either way, when you look on social media,
Mm-hmm.
anytime you look at stuff regarding, awards, whatnot, Mary J. Blige is usually one of the forerunners that you're gonna see that has stood the test of time.
And it's one, and it's, I mean, even going back further than her, because I just saw like some pictures and stuff from the Grammys. There was Smokey Robinson. Like Smokey Robinson, he don't been out since Motown. He been writing
Yeah.
songs for everybody, doing all this. And you got to think over the years, people are like, okay, well, Smokey, you get kind of old. Smokey
Mhm.
like, I got a new album coming out. I got to
Yeah.
do it. I done been in this game 50 years.
When you said that, I had saw a clip where his name is Toby
Yeah.
Nwingo. I think it's, and he was talking to Stevie Wonder. And so I'm
Yes.
just like, Stevie, that's another one. Hey,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm gonna sing on this with Beyonce. It's just like remaking my songs, and I got newer artists on it. They stood the test of time. They're like, you know what? I have not reached my peak.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep going, keep doing until I can't do this thing no more.
Exactly. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's not okay. Oh, I don't got my potential and I stop. No, that's something that is
Right,
continued. And one
right.
scripture that I want to bring up was Ephesians 3:20. And this is out of the Passion Translation. It says, never doubt God's mighty power to work in you and accomplish all this. He will achieve infinitely more than your greatest request, your most unbelievable dream, and exceed your wildest imagination. He will outdo them all, for his miraculous power constantly energizes you.
Wow.
I looked at that and I said, that's what's in me. That's the power. It says, never doubt God's mighty power to work in you.
In yes,
All this. So when you get to that place where it's like your greatest request, your most unbelievable dream, your wildest imagination, he can outdo all of them.
all of it.
When I
And
saw
so
that, oh God.
it just makes you sit back and say, like, what is the craziest thing I could possibly dream of? What is the greatest goal that I wish to accomplish?
Mm-hmm.
What is the number that I want in my bank account? And God is like, you still thinking so small. I can outdo all of that.
Yeah.
Whatever you can try and imagine and think of. Because I'm the creator of all things.
Yeah.
So what you already done thought, baby, I got it.
Because what gets some people is they have that, they don't realize they have a fixed mindset. They've done it to themselves. They fixed their own mindset to say, okay, hey, this is as far as I can go.
Right.
Instead of that mindset of I can do even more than that. I can stretch even further than that. Is it going to be uncomfortable? Yeah. Are you always going to feel like doing it? No. But when there is a clear goal in mind, you're
Mhm.
like, you know what? Hey, I know that I can do this.
Right.
And I don't know why sometimes we talk ourselves out of it. It's like you talk yourself right out of your dream.
And again, I think it just goes back to a lot of times we don't really, we say we want certain things, but we don't want to really work for it. I feel like over time, it's we have been so inundated with everything is now so quick. You know, the
Mm-hmm.
world of social media makes it seem like, oh, it's so easy to do this, it's so easy to do that, it's so you can get quick, get rich quick, this, that, and the third. But yet it's like people that are already there and now they're posting, oh, hey, let me show you how. It still took them work to get there. I can
Exactly.
guarantee you it's not going to happen overnight. And a lot of people, they talk themselves out of it because, again, they get to that point where they may not have a clear why of what they're doing it for to begin with, other
Right.
than they see XYZ doing it. So they think, okay, they can do it, I can do it. They
Yeah.
don't have a clear purpose in mind. Like, are you really purposed for that?
Mm-hmm.
Is that really something that you like, you know what, God, I really feel like that is one thing that you have given me that you're like, do it, run with it.
Right.
You don't have to think about it. It's literally how Pastor Rick said, that's your grace gifting.
Yeah.
We can run with talents, we can run with acquired skills. Great. But sometimes it's like that thing that really, really burns in us, we don't want to do the work for it.
Right. Right.
We get stuck and we get afraid. And like I said, and then you start making the excuses of
Mm-hmm.
why it won't work, even
Right.
before you get started.
Yeah. And we do. And that kind of when you said it was something that you said just now that triggered, like, even when Paul, um, Saul to Paul, but even like, when he was out here basically just demolishing the Christian church, the people of God. And God was like, you know what? He got so much talent. He has so much ability. He can be used for the kingdom.
Wow.
And he took this person, this man who was out here doing the unthinkable to some people, like just murdering people and just like, hey, let's get him. And he's like, you know what? I need him.
Hmm.
I have of him.
I have use of him. Yes. It
There is so much.
is in demand. Yes.
There's so much potential in us that we don't even realize. And sometimes when we are doing stuff, and you be like, okay, this don't feel right. This don't seem right. And God, like, I got used to you.
Right.
I can always
Right.
use us because we are full of potential.
Yeah.
And that's just like, Dr. Miles Monroe, he said, it should be your confession that you want to die empty, that you've done everything that, God has required of you in the earth. So when you die, you're like, God, I ain't got nothing else left.
Yeah.
I, I gave it all.
Yeah. You
I,
you
I,
literally are like, all right, I'm ready to give up the ghost. I'm good.
I did it.
Like it's not a fear of, oh, I ain't got, and it's crazy because I've said it when I was about to say that it triggered that thought, you know, Lord, you can't take me, just yet, I got too much to accomplish. Even in saying those types of things, it should really trigger something in us.
Mm-hmm.
What is it that you have yet to do, and why are you waiting to do it?
Right.
Because literally, we don't know the day or the hour. We don't know the age. We don't know how. We don't know when, whatever. So it's like, you got to get it in now.
Yeah.
Like, stop waiting.
Yeah.
Take that cap off the bottle and let that thing just go.
Be everywhere. Be everywhere. Go ahead.
Explode, literally.
Be everywhere. And do it. It was a quote I had saw earlier today. This lady named Kathy. And what she said here was, Your potential isn't a destination, it's a path. It's a journey of liberation from your own limitations and the limitations that others, often with good intentions, put upon you.
Mm.
Your full potential takes patience, courage, self-awareness, and a whole lot of grit.
You know what it sounds like to me? Takes patience, courage, self-awareness, and a whole lot of grit. That sounds like work to me.
Now,
That sounds like it's not just gonna happen. That
no,
sounds like you're not gonna watch a little master class and gonna have it all. That's
no.
not you gonna pay, $100 for a class and you're gonna have it all. Or you gonna go to the church service and you're gonna have it all. No, that sounds like it's some work. Some
Mm-mm.
work individually and some work outside of yourself.
Exactly. And it is going to take courage. Because there could be some things you be like, ooh, I ain't never faced this before.
Right.
Ain't never had to ask nobody about this or for this before. Ooh, I don't even. It's just those things where we have to say, you know what? All right, God. If I'm in the will of God, I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay, then I'm ready to put in that work.
Right.
And being aware of, sometimes we have to be aware of our own shortcomings to be like,
Hmm.
okay, I need to get over that. I need to get over the fact I don't like to ask people for stuff. I don't want nobody to think I'm begging. I don't want nobody, look at me and think, okay, I need their help. Sometimes you do.
Yeah.
As in order to reach your potential, you got to collaborate with somebody.
So you're gonna need help from somebody in
Right?
something. You're not gonna know it all. And,
No,
and, and a lot of times I think that's where we kind of get stuck sometimes. We think we gotta know everything, every little part of it. No, there's people out here that have done it before you. Find the people to help you along your journey.
because sometimes we be out here trying to reinvent the wheel, and God, like, I don't need you to reinvent the wheel. Just okay, you see that one? All right, then put your spin on it. It's
Or
not that hard.
oh, you don't know how to do that? Pay somebody that do. But we don't do that sometimes.
I gotta go to school so I can get this certificate in ABC, or I gotta, I ain't gonna be able to do that yet because I ain't got no degree in that.
Mm-mm,
Sometimes that ain't even what's required.
mm-mm. Sometimes God ain't call you to that degree. I don't know who that's for.
Yeah,
Amen.
yeah,
Praise God.
yeah. It was probably me. Um, probably. But there are some things that we just don't realize how much is in us, how much
Hmm.
stretch, how much further we can, go above and beyond. Like we don't even realize like how strong we are sometimes. Because
Yes.
you got me thinking about that cap. Somebody don't put the cap on, and I'm just letting it sit there.
They just done said, you know what? I know you got all that on the inside, but we gonna let it sit. Yeah, we can't open it up. We just gonna put you on the shelf and let you sit there. And like I said, you keep getting shaken up, keep getting shaken up. Oh, all right. It's almost like I can see like a person doing like get excited. Okay, I got this going on. Yada yada yada. And that cap's still on. And then it's saying, you see them a month later. Well, nah, it ain't work, or I tried, to go holler at so and so about it, and they ain't want to help me. So, I ain't gonna
Wait,
do it right now. And then next thing you see them again, they shook them up. Oh, that thing about to run over. Cap still on. Don't do nothing with it. Settle
but we
back
got
down again.
at times we got to know that our potential has really nothing to do with our feelings.
Thank you.
It really doesn't. It's about
Yeah.
our.
Yes.
Because I'm gonna pull this back up again because we started off with this. Potential is dormant ability. So that means you able. You just
Mm-hmm.
it's reserved power. You got the power.
Mm-hmm.
It's untapped strength. You strong enough to handle it. You can
Come
do it.
on. Come on.
Unused success.
That
So
means you're already successful.
come
You're
on
just
now.
not using what you got.
Exactly. Hidden talents.
Mm.
You got stuff in you, you don't even know what's in you. And then we get back to that cap capability.
Cap capability. Whew, my
Potential,
Lord.
unexposed ability, and latent, unused power. Man, we got so much in us.
So much.
And the goal is to change our mindset. The goal is to change our environment. The goal is to, learn those things that we know that, hey, we may not know. All right, go learn it. The
Mm-hmm.
goal, develop new relationships. All of these things are going to help us fulfill our potential. So it's just sometimes we just gotta stop making those excuses.
Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, if I can leave people with one thing, don't sit back another day if it's something that truly has been burning on the inside of you and you know for certain this is a God given ability, talent that you have, stop sitting on it. Sit
Mm-hmm.
down tonight, write out even just if it's just a 30-day plan of
Yeah.
what you're going to do toward that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do it tonight. Don't
Yeah.
sit on it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Um, God just has so much more for us, but it's like we gotta release it. You
Yeah.
know, you're not crazy sometimes of the things that you think of.
Right.
That's God trying to get your attention, but
Yeah.
sometimes we don't want to listen. That's me. That's me. It ain't always you.
No.
It ain't always you. You ain't
Yeah.
always missing it. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. And this last scripture I'm gonna leave us with before we get off of here is this: forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past,
Telling you,
because that will hinder your potential as well.
telling you.
What you didn't do 5 days ago, 5 years ago, 5 minutes ago, we gonna forget that and we gonna move forward.
Listen, you can't move forward looking back.
And can't.
Tell me where that work at.
You don't.
You looking in the rearview mirror, but you trying to go forward. You gonna hit something every time, and it's gonna stop your progress because you
Ex-
still looking back at what was. Can't move
exactly.
forward looking back.
Yeah. So my takeaway for tonight is to tell everybody to dream big and let God outdo it.
That's it. That's all. That's the tag.
That's it. But what I want to make sure is that, everybody that that we know, go ahead and make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. So again, you get the notifications. And then also make sure that you are following us on all social media platforms at TFM Gville. That's on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, right here on YouTube. Make sure you go ahead and follow us. We'll be here on YouTube every Thursday at 7 o'clock for Bible Fellowship. You never know who we gonna have on there with us. I so appreciate you, Keisha, for joining me on tonight. I really thoroughly enjoyed this time of fellowship with you.
It was my pleasure.
Yes, yes.
Call me
And
anytime.
will. So this will not be the last time that we will have Keisha on here with us. And we will see you all again on next week. Y'all be amazing. Y'all be awesome. Hey, this Truth and Fellowship. We are a church. We're Generations Fellowship. All right.
Good
Bye.
night.